Harb has reported that the learning of the lunar phases was permitted by Ahmed and Ishaq, discouraged by Qatada, and prohibited by Uyayna. Abu Musa radiallahu anhu is reported to have said that Allah's Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
So now in this narration, the author is showing us, he's talking about astronomy, not astrology. The author is showing us that some of the Salaf, some of the scholars of the past, they even did not like astronomy. Astrology by ijma' or by consensus is haram. Okay? But some of these scholars, such as Qatada and Ibn Uyayna. Qatada, who is Qatada? We just talked about him. Student of Ibn Abbas. Sufyan ibn Uyayna is one of the scholars of hadith and one of the teachers of Imam al-Bukhari. Sufyan ibn Uyayna. So he's way after Qatada. Okay? Sufyan ibn Uyayna, he died 198 Hijri. So he's one of the teachers of Ibn al-Bukhari. Okay? No, it's Ibn Uyayna. Ibn Uyayna. No, Ibn Uyayna, Sufyan ibn Uyayna. So basically, the author is mentioning that some of the scholars of the Salaf, they didn't even like astronomy, forget astrology, because they were so cautious that it might lead you to astrology. Okay? But he is saying that some of the scholars, such as Ahmed and Ishaq, rahmakumullah. Ahmed, who is Ahmed? Ahmed ibn Hanbal. When did Imam Ahmed die? Close, 240, I think. Around that time, very good, yeah. Imam Ahmed died. Who is Ishaq? Ishaq ibn who? That's a good one. No, Ishaq ibn Rahuya. Ishaq ibn Rahuya, or Rahawih, depending on which philosophy you follow. But anyway, Ishaq ibn Rahuya, and he died when? 234, I think. He is, by the way, one of the... No, excuse me, did I say Ibn Uyayna is one of the teachers of Bukhari? No, he's one of the teachers of Bukhari. In other words, 2 generations before. Okay? Ishaq ibn Rahuya is the primary teacher of Imam Bukhari. Okay? Sufyan ibn Uyayna is one of the teachers of the teachers. So he's 2 generations before Bukhari. Okay, sorry, big mistake. Ishaq ibn Rahuya, he was one of the main teachers of Imam Bukhari. The point of this athar, the point of this narration is to show you that some of the Salaf, some of the scholars of the past, they didn't even like astronomy, but some of them, they allowed it. And the correct opinion is that it is allowed. The correct opinion is that it is allowed based on the fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created the stars. One of the reasons that He created the stars was to what? To guide. To guide. Beautify the skies is not really astronomy. Astronomy, one of the main purposes of astronomy is to act as guidance, basically, in the sense that which way is north and south and, directions of the Qibla and this. So the correct opinion is that it is allowed, it is permissible to study astronomy, and there is no sin with it whatsoever. Okay? But astrology, the small of it and the large of it, is haram. And by the way, the author already mentioned some ahadith which he didn't repeat here in the previous chapters about astrology. Who can remember them? He already mentioned some hadith about astrology, which you should realize are, he already mentioned them a few chapters ago. Of them is, whoever takes a branch of astrology, then he has taken a branch of shirk. Whoever takes or holds on to a branch of astrology, then he has taken a branch of shirk, and the more he increases, the more his shirk also increases. Okay? And there is another hadith that you should write down, which is an authentic hadith, that what I fear most for my ummah, what I fear most for my ummah is firstly the belief in the stars, in other words astrology, the belief in the stars. Secondly, to deny predestination, to deny qadr. Okay? And thirdly, unjust leaders, in other words scholars and political leaders. Okay? Every time the word leader occurs in the Quran or Sunnah, you should apply to both of these meanings, scholars and political leaders, unless there's reason otherwise. Okay, so in this authentic hadith which Al-Shaykh Al-Albani has authenticated, made it sahih, he says that the thing that I fear the most for my ummah are that they believe in stars, meaning astrology, and they deny predestination, they deny qadr, and misguided scholars or misguided rulers. These 3 things the Prophet ﷺ fears the most for his ummah. Now the next hadith.
Abu Musa radiallahu anhu is reported to have said that Allah's Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, 3 types of people will not enter paradise: the habitual drinker, the believer in sorcery, and the one who severs blood relations.
Okay, now in this hadith, the Prophet ﷺ is saying that 3 types of people will not enter paradise. Now, some of them, they will never enter paradise. The one that, for example, believes in sorcery, he has committed major shirk, he will never. As for the other 2, then they will not enter paradise, meaning immediately. Okay, and they will enter it later on because they still have the basis of Tawheed, and this is proven in other narrations. So the Prophet ﷺ said 3 people will never enter paradise. The one who is addicted to intoxication, khamr, okay, the continual or the habitual drinker. So he who always drinks, or he who always is taking drugs throughout his life, okay, then his punishment is very severe. His punishment is very severe, and this basically the meaning of this hadith is that he will not enter paradise for a long period of time. Okay, this doesn't mean that he's going to eternally be damned to the fire of hell. No, the Quran is clear on this point, that Allah will forgive every sin except the sin of shirk. Okay, likewise, he who cuts off his blood ties. This is also a very major sin, that your brothers and your father and your mother and your sisters and your relatives, okay, to cut off your ties with them, that you don't speak with them and you don't call them up and you don't contact them. This is a major sin in Islam, that you cut your ties off. Now obviously the closer a person is to you in your blood relationship, the more rights he has from you, and the further he is away from you, then the less rights he has upon you. And that's a whole chapter or topic in and of itself to make sure that you fulfill the ties of kinship. And the last point, and this is the point of bringing this hadith, is he who believes in sorcery or magic. And the point of this hadith is that the author is trying to show that, or trying to say that his opinion and the correct opinion is that astrology is a type of magic. And we already covered this in the previous chapter of magic. Astrology is a type of magic. So the point is that the Prophet ﷺ is saying that he who believes in magic, and astrology is a part of magic, so he who believes in astrology will not enter Jannah. Okay, so zodiacal signs, for instance, and this is pure astrology. This is pure astrology. The 12 zodiacal signs. He who believes in it and thinks that this is true, then this is a type of shirk. This is a type of shirk that because of which it is possible that he will never enter Jannah. Okay. Now, obviously, astrology can be divided into minor shirk and major shirk. Like we always say, that shirk is of 2 types, minor and major. If you think that the stars are indications of good and bad luck, then this is minor shirk. And if you think that the stars are the cause of good and bad luck or good and bad effects that occur to you, then this is major shirk, which expels you from the fold of Islam. So going back to your intentions, astrology could be a minor shirk or a major shirk. Now, next chapter.
Chapter number 30, Seeking Rain Through the Lunar Phases.
Okay, so basically this chapter is a follow-up on astrology. One of the customs of the Jahiliyyah times was that the people would believe that the phases of the moon or the phases of the stars, they were causes or they were signs by which we could ask for rain from. Okay, so basically if a certain star set or the moon was a certain time, then this was like a good luck charm or something that would bring about the rain. Okay, so in this hadith or in this chapter, the author is trying to show you that this too is a type of shirk. Now,
Allah the Most Exalted said, and instead of thanking Allah for the provision He gives you, on the contrary, you deny Him.
Okay, now this verse must be understood in light of the interpretations of the Sahaba up to this verse. Obviously, at face value, this verse doesn't seem to have any relationship to the chapter at hand. But Ibn Abbas, he interpreted this verse to mean that when it rains, then you say, oh, this is the good luck of this star. This is because of the setting place of this star. Okay, it was rained upon us, or we received this blessing, not because of Allah, but because that certain star was seen last night. So this is the effects of that star. This star brought about good luck. Or because that star set in a certain place. So the interpretation of this verse, according to Ibn Abbas, is that instead of thanking Allah, when rain falls upon you, instead of thanking Allah and worshipping Him, instead you deny Allah and you believe in the stars instead. So do you understand the purpose of this verse? Read the verse again, right? At face value, it seems to have no relationship to istisqa or to asking from the stars. But Ibn Abbas interpreted this verse by saying that instead of thanking Allah when it rains, instead you deny Him by attributing this rain to the stars. Okay? And this is going to be more explicitly taken up in the next narration now.